welcome. How can I help you? Oh, okay. So you're just browsing for some bridal jewellery? Amazing. Yeah, I can definitely help you with that. Let me grab my notebook and I'll make a couple of notes, and then I will go around the shop and try to find some things inspired by what you're looking for. Okay, let me just go get my notebook. So, you're looking for earrings specifically, and they're for a bridal shower. Are they for the bride? Okay. Nice. Okay, so potentially something for the bride, but you're more looking for earrings for the gift bags. Okay. And how many? 8 pairs. Okay. Are you looking for things that are individual pieces, or do you want them to be sort of like gift sets? You're open to either. Do you have a price point in mind? So about £30 per head. Okay. So our budget's around the £240 mark. Fabulous. Okay. Now, are the bridal shower, do they all have piercings, or do you need some alternative options, clip-ons for example? They all have your piercings. And do you want everyone to have the same or different? You're not sure? Okay, that's fine. Okay. And are you looking for more dress jewellery, or would you like them in sterling silver or plated gold? So we do a sterling silver, or we do 9 carat. So of course those bring up the pricing option. So anything that I show you within our store we keep just as the dress jewellery. That's just for safety purposes to prevent any theft. But all of these pieces can be made in sterling silver or 9 carat if you're interested. It may be worth doing that. The dress jewellery is on the very affordable side, so we're looking at sort of anything from £2 to £5 per piece, whereas if you were to get sterling silver for example, that would bring it up to sort of 15-20, and then depending on the piece, the 9 carat could take you anything from sort of £25 to £50. Okay, and then colour wise, are we preferring silvers or golds? Gold, but you're up to the idea of silver. Okay, that's fine. And then finally, are there any sort of themes that we're looking for? Lovely. So spring florals. Are there any specific colour schemes? So mostly blush pinks, creams, baby blues, just soft pastels. Great. Okay, well Catherine, I'm going to go and have a look around and get some items to show you. Okay? Feel free to browse while you're waiting. I won't be too long. Okay. Hello again. Is everything okay? Have you found anything while you've been looking? That's not to worry. I've got quite a collection to show you. We've got both some gift packages with like a few different items, and then we've got some solo pieces as well. So let's get started. Okay, so the first earrings are the only silver ones that I've picked. These can be made in gold as well, but these are these little dangly bow earrings, and they have diamantes all over them, and then a large jewel in the centre. These can be custom made if you wanted them in sterling silver or gold, so you can change the colour of the jewel in the centre to make it either a pearl or maybe an emerald, depending on if there's a specific jewel that is precious to the bride, for example. So you can see that the top is like stiff, it's very firm, it doesn't squish, so it holds its shape up here, whereas down here these little trail off pieces are free flowing and they dangle as you move as well. So those look really lovely. Let me show you for size reference. So as you can see, this is the dress jewellery, so these would be £3.50. But as I said, the sterling silver in this piece would be more around your price point. Okay, so those are the first ones. Let me pop them down here as we move along. Okay, next pieces. Next ones we have are these very large, almost like starburst florals. They look a little bit like blossom flowers from a blossom tree. So these are in full gold here, but again you have the option to create these in silver. These are just dress jewellery, but these can be 9-carat plated. So again, these are £3.50. These are a much larger earring. They do feel a little bit heavy, so if that's something that potentially is not every person in the bridal party's style, I wouldn't necessarily suggest it, unless you tend to be the types that all wear very sort of statement jewellery. This is, as you can see, quite a large earring, and because the actual piercing piece sits quite high, the majority of the earring is weighted downwards, so it is pulling on the lobe. Regardless, they are so pretty. These retail for £3.50 for the dress jewellery. We can size them up or down if it's something that you really like, but let's say the 9-carat comes in at about £45 and you're looking for the 30 mark, we can reduce the size of the earring to make it more in your price point. But you want these items as sort of like a keepsake. You probably could get all of the dress jewellery for £30 if you wanted to sort of give like a really expensive gift bag with lots of different things in, but you want the jewellery to be a piece that lasts. I understand that. That's the unfortunate reality of dress jewellery. is it doesn't stand the test of time. It does age over time. The colour fades, and it does have a habit of turning your skin green if you wear it for too long. Okay, so that was these ones. I think this next pair are my favourite. They're definitely a bit of me. Let me just make sure they're fastened nicely on the back so they don't wobble around too much. These are another £3.50 piece for dress jewellery. These are the other bow earrings, but these are instead in a yellow gold rather than a white gold. They're quite ornate. They remind me a little bit of Bridgerton. So again we have the bows, and it's almost exactly the same shape as the silver ones I showed you, where you have the top that is nice and stiff, the little jewel in the centre, but now you have a little what's resembling a pearl dangling off the centre, and then the long dangly pieces that move as you walk. So again, these can be made in sterling silver if you wanted silver, or in 9 carat gold, and these can be made into freshwater pearls as well, but they are going to be a bigger high price point that we're looking if you get the 9 carat gold in these, plus the crystals are Swarovski crystals rather than dress crystals, and you get the freshwater pearl. We're looking at sort of £90. Yeah, so maybe if you're wanting, you know, luxury, this is where you go. If you've maybe got some wiggle room with your price point, this would potentially be a really nice idea for the bride herself. Like, this would be a nice gift for her, maybe a nice gift for the mother of the bride. But I think you're going to be wanting to times your budget by 3 if you're wanting these ones. No, that's absolutely fine. I do understand. They do look quite nice though, I must admit. Okay, moving on then. Let's pop these down here. Okay. Next is our first gift set. These are bows inspired as well. We have 3 different sets of earrings here. So we have these little ones which are like miniature versions of the ones I just showed you. These would be a lovely choice if you did want to give them a set of 3, but they maybe didn't want big dress jewellery. This is something a little bit more understated, a little bit more delicate, but it still has that fun, playful feel of something a bit different. It's just not your, you know, your generic sort of stud. So yes, we have the ones which are a thinner bow with a little pearl. Again, you can make these fresh water pearls if you would want, and again you can have this set in sterling silver if you wanted to as well. We then have this lovely pair of bows which have more of a textured pattern to them, like a ribbon, a ribbed ribbon pattern. And again, these are a stiff stud with no movement, but they're just in a solid gold. And then lastly, we have these little bows which are thinner, like a thinner ribbon than all of these 3. And these ones have a little heart on them, so the heart is dangly. The heart moves, and the heart is just a solid gold. Can you see that? But again, these are quite a delicate set, so you're getting these three for £3.50. So they're going to be similar to the upscaling price point of the other ones that were £3.50. So we're talking sort of £15, £20 sterling silver, around 20 to 45 with the 9 carat gold. If you're wanting the freshwater pearl again that increases price, but it's a potential that you could have just the dress jewellery but with freshwater pearls, but it's a bit of an odd choice. Personally, if I were the one purchasing, I wouldn't be putting freshwater pearls on dress jewellery because the dress jewellery isn't going to last, and then you'd have to go through the struggle of having the pearls removed in order to be used again for another piece. Whereas you want the sort of quality of the jewellery to sort of stay all on the same sort of bracket and level, if that makes sense. I think these would look really nice in sterling silver though, so it's maybe something to have a think about. Okay, so that is those ones. Next, something a little bit different. This is the only style of this that we have here today, is hoops. So this is a gift set of 3 separate sets of hoops. So they're like a hoop dangly earring combination. You can see the size of the hoops there. They are relatively larger earrings, I would say. And these ones retail at £4 for dress jewellery, so these ones are going to sit more expensive. So if you are getting them in the 9 carat, they're going to sit at the £45 mark, definitely. Okay, so first we have these ones here, which are a smaller hoop to the others, and they have 1, 2, 3 flowers. All in gold with no specific detailing. They're almost a little bit like the blossom flowers that I was talking about before, but they don't have any colour to them, just the gold. They're very, very lightweight, these. You can feel like they wouldn't be heavy on the ear at all. We then have these ones, which I think are my favourite. They have like a pink, blush pink, opalescent look to them. These are made with a resin to create that opalescent look, but then they are obviously plated in gold, so they have a gold rim to them, and then in the centre they have little jewels, so they can be made with Swarovski crystals, which can increase the price point. And then the final piece are essentially the same flowers as these ones, but just in plain gold with no opalescence. And these are much more lightweight than these. These are a bit more heavy. Something you could do is, if you see the gift sets and you like a specific piece within the gift set, you can request that it's just that piece. So for example, if you were to like these ones in the centre, you could say, okay, I want just those as an individual piece, but I want them gold plated with the Swarovski crystals, and that way you would be looking around the £30 mark, if that's something that potentially, that sounds like a plan. I thought that might be. I think they really fit nicely with your theming. I'll show you the last ones that we've got though, just in case these aren't, necessarily the ones. But we have got ones very, very similar to that I'll show you in a second. I'll just show you one more other piece that I have. I do, however, don't think that these are necessarily what you're looking for. I just thought I would grab them and take a chance. Open to suggestion. So these are yellow gold hearts, I thought, with the theme of bridal, love, romance, marriage. So we have a smaller heart, which is the stud itself, and then a larger heart, which is the dangle piece, which moves only a little bit. They're not too sort of ornate. They are quite large again. You can see that there. But they have, you know, nothing particularly detailed about them. They're just like a quite flat piece. But I think they're a stylistic choice. They remind me of sort of like 60s sort of look, I suppose. Oh, there's the seagulls going. So again, these would be probably your cheapest option if you wanted them to be made into a plating, because they don't have any sort of detail to them. So we're not looking at any crystals or anything. Not for you. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Let me show you the last set that I have then, which I think personally is going to be your choice. So the last ones we have here are a statement stud. You can see they are still relatively large, but not so big that they are quite, you know, gaudy or distasteful. So these ones retail at £5 for the set, so you can imagine each pair would be £2.50, going up to about that £30 mark if you wanted them, with the Swarovski crystals and the gold plating, similar to the hoops that I showed you before. So we have two different blossom flowers. We have white blossom and pink blossom here. So you can see they both have that like pearlescent look to them. The white ones have the opalescent, so as it catches the light, you can see there's different colour in it, and it almost like catches the light of blues and greens and purples, whereas the pink more just has a little bit of a shimmer to it. But with the white, you have the crystal just in the centre, whereas the pink, you have multiple smaller crystals. I'll grab the other one so you can have a look at them and compare. Okay, so we've got the studs. Of course, they are not going to move. Or you've got the hoops here. What are we thinking? Okay. I love that idea. So, I'll get my notebook so I can write this down in a moment. But we're thinking these hoops then, in the gold plating with the opalescents and the Swarovski crystals, but just singly on their own. And those are for the 8 members of the bridal party, part of their gift bags. I'll try my best to retail them at around £30 for you then. Okay. I'll see what I can do, because if you're buying 8, I'm sure that I can give you some sort of discount for those. And then for the bride, the white, do you want them as the stud or do you want them as the dangly ones to match? The stud. Okay. And then with these as well. So for the bride, we're having these ones as gold plated. These ones as gold plated? Yes, gold plated, gold plated. plated, that's probably going to come in the region of about 50. Yeah, that's fine. And then 30 per piece for these. Let me go get my notebook so that I can write down your order correctly. Okay, so we have the pink blossom hoops. We want them individually packaged. We want them 9 karat gold plated with the individual Swarovski crystals. Amazing. So we're 8 of those at £30 a piece, give or take. I will ever so slightly size them down if needs be, if you're okay with that, just to get that price point. Do you have any wiggle room at all, or absolute maximum is 32? If I can manage to keep the same size. Okay, that's fine. And then for the bride, we're having the white blossom stud, individual again, 9 karat plated with the Swarovski. And then the gold dangle blossom, the 3 blossom dangle hoop, individual, £9. Okay, which is going to come around £50, but I will give you a call if it's going to look any different than that. Okay, so currently at the moment I'm going to invoice you, so it's £240 for the girls and then 50, so we're at £290 for the entire set. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see what I can do, just because that's quite a large order. I wonder if I can potentially find you some discounts, but I will send off for these and see what my boss says, see if he can do any special deals for you. Okay, amazing. Could I take your number? Fabulous. So Catherine, what I'm going to do is I will have a little chat with him, see what we can do for you, get those specs sent off, and then I will call you with the potential budget. Yeah, amazing. Okay, and what is the deadline that you're looking for? Okay, 4 weeks. We've still got plenty of time then. That's fine. Amazing. Okay, that's great. I will get in contact with you in the next 48 hours. Is that okay? Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. You have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll speak to you very soon. Alright,